So hello everyone, welcome back to our new video. So as we all know that super bikes are a fantasy of any rider कि जब खुद का पैसा होगा या फिर जब इनकम स्टेबल हो जाएगा तो एक सुपर बाइक खरीदेंगे, उसको मेंटेन करेंगे. सो आज हमारे साथ है 2024 कावासाकी का Z900 और मिस्टर शुभजीत दा इस ब्यूटीफुल बाइक की ओनर. सो हमारा पहला पॉइंट है इंजन. So I know a lot of viewers already knows how much power this beast makes, but still अगर आप लोगों को नहीं पता है कि एक Z900 0 to 100 जाती है within 3.3 seconds में. जानते हो क्यों? क्योंकि it gets a 948cc 4-stroke inline 4 engine which generates around 123 horsepower at 9.5 thousand RPM and 98.6 Nm of torque at 7.7 thousand RPM, making this one of the fastest bike in its class. So जैसे कि आप लोग देख सकते हैं इस बाइक में ऑलरेडी एक एग्जॉस्ट है, फुल सिस्टम एग्जॉस्ट मॉडिफाइड है. So because of this exhaust, mileage and horsepower and torque increases. So owner will tell us about the more increased power in this specific motorcycle. और कमेंट सेक्शन में बताना कि ये बाइक कैसी लग रही है. इतनी बारिश के मौसम में भी शुभजीत दा ने एकदम क्लीन टिप टॉप क्लीन रखा है बाइक को. बहुत ही खूबसूरत लग रही है. So as this motorcycle gets a big engine of inline 4, so what is the interval of maintaining it and costing?
Okay, in terms of interval, I think it's around 10,000 kilometers or 6 months, whichever comes earlier. So on that basis, the way I ride it, I primarily ride within the city, hardly 20 kilometers over the weekend. So in that way, for me, it's like the 6 months, which would come earlier, of course. And I did not want to get into the hassle of, paying up like almost 10,000-11,000 every service. So what I opted for was a AMC. So at that time, like in January 2024, they had this scheme of 2 + 2 years in which they extend the warranty by 2 years besides the normal warranty. And they also give you free services, I think 8 services. So basically it covers 4 years. Every 6 months it gets serviced, I think, except the oil filter. That's what you need to pay for. But everything else is within that payment itself. So I paid around 66,000 or 67,000 odd for this AMC package. It's worth it. So I believe 4 years down the line, probably this 10,000 would become 15,000. I did not want to get into that. So I thought it makes a fair choice to pay this lump sum now and live tension free for at least 4 years. So that was my point. Because I see people going to the service center saying that prices have gone up, second service is much higher, expensive than the first one. So on that basis, I thought it might be more rational, even though I was shelling out a lot of money because I had to pay a lot already to buy this. Obviously. And then this needs to be done within a month's time from the purchase, beyond which you cannot really do much.
Exactly.
So I spoke to the service guys. The salesperson also said the same thing. So go for it. And I thought there would be merit. So yeah, that's why I went for it. I think, yeah, on that basis, I take it every 6 months to the service center. They're pretty helpful. I would not say they're the best perhaps, but yeah, so far so good. No major concerns. I've got an issue with the gearing a bit. They're aware of it. Didn't get resolved so far, but that is it. No other problems touched with.
Good, sir. And what is the recommended engine oil?
So in terms of engine oil, I think they have got 2 options. So if you go by the package, which I've opted for, they give you the basic engine oil. But I think there's a premium one. If you opt for that, so if you're paying like the normal service, obviously you shell out 1,000 or 1,500 more for that. That's more of a performance engine oil. But like I said, I do not go on long touring. Neither I rev the bike. It might sound funny, but it's been almost 8 months. I did not even touch 100. It's 96. That was the top that I could see on this bike because I mostly ride within the city.
Exactly. And
it's only bypass wherein I could get a 90 figure because I believe the cameras are still not operational. Otherwise, I would have gotten so many
cases
fines or penalties. Yes. But yeah, that's how it is.
And due to the modified exhaust, how much power and torque has been increased?
Okay, so as per the Aero stats, it says if you go for a full system, even though this is not an Aero full system, and I'll tell you the reason why they did not go for it. It gives you a 12 horsepower increase and I think 7 to 7.5 Newton meters. So If you add this up, that would give you around 135. So by default, it's 125, I believe.
123.
So plus 12, 137. And the Newton-meters, I think it's around 99. So 7
99,
point,
yes.
I think around 105 Newton-meters at 7,700 RPMs. So yeah, it's decent power. Like I said, to me, sound and the initial acceleration matters more. I do not do top end, neither do I try those stunts like wheeling and stoppy. So yeah, I like it. Like the sound and all, everything is good. I like the drivability, how it rides. Pretty comfortable riding it for 6 months. Even though I kind of tiptoe because of my height. Uh, Now the weight of the bike is that's a
Very
different story.
balanced.
But yeah, I think that is it.
With great power comes with responsibility and braking. So हमारा next topic है braking system. The Z900 features a braking system with dual 300 pedal disc at front and 250 pedal disc at rear. The dual disc brakes at front and single disc brake at rear provides it excellent stopping power stability. How is the braking response and how much did it cost to maintain the plates and the brake pads properly?
Like it's been around 8 months for me, so it's gone through its normal maintenance. But in terms of braking, it's terrific, I must say. In terms of the braking that I've experienced within the city's limit, like getting from 70, 80 to a standstill is a cakewalk for this brake. Even though it's not Brembo, it's Nissin, but it's fairly good. And I have not taken it to the highway, so cannot really comment like how good it is out there. But braking has been very good so far, and I know the brake pads are fairly expensive. Probably a pair would cost me around 200, I think approximately 5,000, because each one might be 2,500. But I'm not really sure of the prices of disc plates. It's gonna be expensive because none of the Kawasaki parts come cheap. So that is what I have on braking. But I think besides this one, the engine braking is also fairly good. So it need not be like you have to extensively use the hand brakes every time. You can do proper engine braking and a mix of engine braking and the hand braking. So I think it gives a good performance. In terms of what speed it can achieve, and given the weight, it's fairly good. I'm happy so far.
So I know it's a critical topic to ask a superbike owner how much mileage it gets. Though the mileage is not our top priority because probably we are the last generation to enjoy these bikes and mileage mostly depends on rider skills. So how much mileage do you get before and after changing the exhaust?
Okay, so I changed the exhaust. So I went for a slip-on, an Arrow Pro Race slip-on right after the delivery. So I'm not really sure what would the default mileage be. But right from the beginning, I was getting around 11, 11.2 top. So I think couple of months down the line, I went for a full system with an XL header and an Arrow exhaust combined. I think recently it's been around 13. But I think there are a few factors that you need to consider. One is the number of services that you do. Obviously, with services, I think the mileage marginally increases. So that did happen. I think initially I was getting around 11 to 12. It just went up by 1. So 13 it is right now. I'm not sure if it would get better or get worse over time. But this is how it is so far. And like I said, the mileage that I'm quoting is within the city's parameter. Mostly EM bypass and surrounding areas where I ride, but not like choco-block traffic, because if you go there, that mileage would certainly drop and it would heat up the engine like anything. So that is there, and can't give a figure for the highway mileage because I've never been to highways with this. So.
Our next point is comfort. The 2024 Z900 gets inverted forks with rebound damping and spring preload adjustability. Sorry for that. And the rear suspension gets horizontal back link with rebound damping and adjustability. Now we will ask the owner how is the comfort and is a short ride rider suitable to ride this motorcycle. Oh, and by the way, the Kawasaki Z900 gets a weight of approx 210 kg. So it's a pretty heavy bike, but as the owner already mentioned in the previous video that the weight distribution in this motorcycle is perfect. Like you cannot feel the handlebars are too heavy or it's difficult to handle the motorcycle because of its 210 kg of weight. A weight distribution matters a lot in terms of speed and stability. Is this motorcycle comfortable to ride in heavy traffics?
Well, in terms of comfort, I think the rider seat is fairly comfortable. I would not say the same of the pillion seat because it's more of a rock rather than a seat, I would say. Unless you like customize it to put in more foam inside, it's fairly uncomfortable. Like I was telling you in the morning, I would not prefer to sit on the pillion seat myself, even if somebody is ready to pay me for that. So that is on the seats. As far as the riding comfort goes, it's fairly comfortable, but I think if your height is between 5'8" to 6", it's a better position to be sitting on the bike, because for a person like me who is 5'7", I kind of tiptoe. And the problem with tiptoeing is that if you suddenly brake, then you do not feel that comfortable, because you feel if you are not able to control it properly, you might just fall in one of the sides. Okay, so that is there. But like while you are riding or you're cruising, then the comfort is not a concern. I think you do not feel the weight management or distribution is so good on this. I've tested a Royal Enfield 650 and I know how terrible it is in terms of riding it. So be it in traffic or otherwise, I think it's fairly nimble. It's you can zigzag through the traffic, that is also doable. But when I have to push it back using just my legs, then it's a trouble, particularly because with my height, and obviously this is like a 212 kilos drive, and then you add the petrol weight to it, so it would like cross easily 220.
No
So
doubt.
maneuvering with just your bare legs, I think that's difficult. But while cruising, I think there's no concern as such, and the posture is fairly. It's not as committed as a Triumph Street Triple, because I test rode that prior to going for this. But yeah, I think overall the comfort is pretty good for a 900 or a almost liter class bike naked.
And any overheating issue?
Any what?
Overheating issue?
Overheating, yes, it does heat up a lot in bumper to bumper traffic. There have been times when I felt like I'll come off the bike, take some race, and then ride it again because of the extreme heat. I think if it crosses beyond 100, you kind of feel the hit on your legs. But I think that's the thing with obviously it's an inline 4,000cc almost. That is supposed to happen, but I think the heating is better controlled in a fair bike. This being a naked, I'm okay with the heat. I mean, this is nothing that I can do much in terms of modifying and get rid of. I have ridden I think Harley a few years back. That was like the worst in terms of heating that I've experienced. You would feel like in 5 minutes you'll come off the bike and then you'll run away from there. It's that terrible. I think it was a 750 street. Terrible heating, and then I think more than heating, the heat management matters a lot.
Exactly.
So this is not a UK or the US wherein the heating would give you comfort. So if you ride it during your winter period, you'll feel comfortable because of the heat coming onto your legs, right? So it's not the case in summers, which is the primary thing for most of us in Kolkata. So yeah, I think these are the things I have to live with, but I'm kind of okay.
Okay. Next, we come to the technologies. The Z900 gets LED lighting setup and a TFT display, bringing the newest tech, pushing boundaries and dominating your ride. Adding to the safety, there are 4 riding modes: rain, road, sports, rider, also known as the customizable mode. Each mode tempers the power delivery, the engine's responsiveness. Dimensions. The Kawasaki Z900 gets dimensions of 2007 mm in length, 825 mm in width, and 1080 mm in height, and 140 mm ground clearance. By knowing the dimension details, you can be clear about the minimum size which you require to park this motorcycle in your garage. And next, modifications. I know it's a most awaited part of this video. What is the price of the exhaust, etc. So owner will let us know about the pricing of the exhaust, the other modifications he has done, and what is the on-road price of this bike.
Okay. Firstly, the moment I got the bike, I think in a week's time, what I did was getting a full bike PPF. Um, so that was done from code detailing. I must say, they're not the best. The guy is pretty good in terms of talking and all, but in terms of quality, it's like very average. I must say, it costed me around 15K or so, but the quality is not something I'm happy with. It besides the PPF, I think let's start from the first the tires itself. Like here, what I've got is a Evotech fork protector. Then it's a fork cover. This is very important. This would help the bike from oil seal breakage. So these are the couple of things this side. Then here's a radiator grill. It's really dirty right now, but it's an Evotech one. Over here, we have the lever guards, lever protectors on both the sides. This is just for mounting an action camera. Nothing else here. I think there's a screen guard that's very basic. Should I include the prices as well of the accessories? So the this one, I think it costed me this one, and then including the rear one, it costed me almost 10K, I believe, if I'm quoting it correctly. This is like 700 rupees, not much. This is again probably 8,000 rupees if I'm not mistaken. This is like $100 thing. This is 700. This is almost 2,000. There were expensive ones available, but I thought this is kind of good. This the Evotech and all that's for 5,000 or something. So this is one of the main things in the bike. The frame sliders. This is again from Evotech. This has helped me in one of the recent falls. So as you could see, that's why this part is chipped off a little bit. This is approximately 11,000. This is the engine guard from JB Racing. This is really important for Z900 because the moment it falls, and then if you do not have this and this takes the hit, and if it cracks, it's gonna be really expensive to repair and to fix it. Coming over to this side, I have got a exhaust guard or an exhaust protector. This is an aftermarket, so costed me around 2,000 or something. It's not a branded one though. This is a original carbon fiber guard for the exhaust. Now, in terms of my exhaust system, this is a full system with Exil headers and an arrow slip-on. This is an arrow Tourers. I think if you listen to the people who modify the superbikes, they say this gives you the best in terms of sound output. It's even better, they say, as compared to a full system of arrow with an arrow header and a arrow slip-on. So I went for this. This is a little economical though. I think the header costed me around 50K, and this is almost 51K. This is, by the way, not a I think this is just a stainless steel one. So this is it. I've got that came as a package. So the rear protector this side, and then these are the spools. Road rash, not of Evotech. I think that's covered this side. I've got the seat covers done locally. This is normal jali. It just helps in getting groceries and stuffs from the market. So that's really helpful for 50 bucks only. Um, Now this is a Motographics tank protector. I did not put on the sides because I do not require it right now. And this is a tank cap. I think it's protector or just a sticker. This is like for 2,500 rupees. This is for thing 2,000 rupees. That's, by the way, is the name of my bike, Zeno. I think the meaning of this is in Japanese is a monster. Um, I have got inside this BMC aftermarket air filter. Um, yeah, I think that kind of covers it up in terms of the modifications I've done so far. Little bit of stickering here and there, but that is it.
So, how much did it cost on road and ex showroom?
I think ex showroom it is a little above 9 lakhs, 9 point something, I'm not exactly sure. But on road, I think it costed me 11 lakh 10,000. Um, I did not go for finance, so that's the price for this one. And inclusive of the accessories, is costed me somewhere close to 13 lakhs so far. My parents are not even aware this is what I've spent, so maybe this is something I will not be sharing with them. But yeah, that is it. And in terms of the other costs, obviously, as in how you modify this would increase, but that's a bare minimum. But I think 6 months down the line, 7 months, it's been almost 8 months, right? So the prices have marginally increased. It should be somewhere around 11.5. And do not expect a discount. They don't give a discount on this at
Exactly.
all. No matter how many times you ask for it.
Exactly. Exactly. So it was a very beautiful review video of this bike and covering all the modifications also and the detailings and the pricing. So owning a super bike is easy, but maintaining is very tough. So always think about maintaining it before buying it. So thank you, Mr. Shurjit Paul, for giving us the time and showing us the bike and the viewers to understand how to maintain a proper super bike properly. Thank you.
Thank you. And I must appreciate that, you're covering this in this video, and there are a couple of few good things that you have said, that, buying a bike is easy but not maintaining. So that is something I think everybody needs to keep in their mind. So if you are able to maintain a bike, then go for it. If you think you might struggle, wait for a few years, get yourself to that level, and then buy a dream bike of yours. So that's what I did myself. Like in my mid 30s, I can probably say this is something I always wanted. Like right from my mid 20s, I wanted to get this one. But then I waited and I thought maybe I'll reach up to that level when I'm comfortable in maintaining this bike. See, buying is easy, maintaining is difficult, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, just have that thing in mind and ride safe and enjoy your bike, whichever you love.
Exactly. Ride safe and thanks for watching.